What's going on, guys? It's your boy DJ the Dead here, back in with another video. I just watched this video and broke it down, tore apart all of the uh, bad stuff, all of the Prager propaganda. Now let's go to a different video. Ooh, I have a good idea. Two of the things I hate most.
Go to the dentist? I'd rather hug a cactus.
Going to the dentist used to be rough.
Blaming others for your problems is a complete waste of time.
Instantly in the first few seconds. That's great. Alright, so what if your problem's that you're being pursued by, for, your opinions? What if your problems you can't get a job even though you've applied for a bunch of jobs, you have, a master's degree, you got a bachelor's degree, you've done all this stuff and you can't get a well-paying job? Is that also your problem? Oh, is it your problem if you're born into a low-income area where there was low standards for education, and you end up not being able to get good education to put on your portfolio, get a job and stuff? Oh, is it your problem if you're in Nazi Germany and you're being killed for being Jewish? Ooh, is it your problem if you're being born in a third world country that's constantly being pillaged by the first world? Oh, is it your problem if you're born in a family that's been working on Nestle plantations and stuff? I can go on forever. I actually can go on forever. Blaming others for your problems is not a complete waste of time, because there are social, there's norms that you, are born into, and, it's just inequality. There's hierarchy. There's, you can be born this place, that place, all have different outcomes. There's no equality of opportunity when we're, doing all this stuff,
When you do that, you don't learn anything. You can't grow and you can't mature.
Coming to terms with your government is not an aspect of maturity. That is a complete lie. If that was true, then no change would have happened in the past, 100,000 years. What?
Thus, you can't make your life better. In my
How is someone on a Nestle plantation gonna make themselves better by just being like, oh, that was my fault?
decades as a professor and clinical psychologist,
the clinical psychology has nothing to do with, whatever, sure it does.
I've learned that there are two fundamental attitudes toward life and its sorrows. Those with the first attitude blame the world.
It is the world's fault.
Those with the second ask what they could do differently.
You can have both. If you're not on the plantation, alright, let's say you're born in, poverty, and you have to take initiative, you have to drop out of high school and get a job, or, sell drugs or something, just to be able to pay rent. Or you could go through high school, you could be homeless, and then, you still can't get a job afterwards. And both times, you're messed up. What could you do differently? To pick your poison of how to lose. It's dumb.
Imagine a couple on the brink of divorce. They're hurt and
1 and 2.
angry.
Yeah.
The unhappy, bitter husband recalls the terrible things his wife has done and the reasons he can no longer live with her. The harried and disillusioned wife, in turn, can describe all the ways her husband let her down. Each has a long list of necessary changes for the other person. Their prospects for reconciliation are grim. Why?
This this example is an anecdote that doesn't make sense in the real world because the real world isn't in a vacuum. You don't all start at the same time and then every decision you make, like, we're not a meritocracy. So like that doesn't make sense. Like everything you do doesn't impact your future in the way it says it does. This
Because other people
sucks.
aren't the problem. You're the problem.
No.
You can't change other people, but
Then why aren't you Jeff Bezos? Huh? If you can fix whatever just by fixing it, just change it, Andrew Tate style, just breathe, then why are you not a multi-hundred billionaire?
you can change yourself. But it's difficult. It takes courage to change, and it takes discipline. It's much easier and much more gratifying to your basest desires to blame someone else for your misery.
What if your misery is someone else's fault, though?
Consider the youthful activist making a statement against the corrupt capitalist.
Capitalism is a corrupt system. Making a change for it is like the only way. You know what? Yeah, actually, she is acting out. She is doing what you're saying. She's fixing herself. She is taking action against the system. So she's doing both. The world is the problem, and what can I do to change it? Like, she's taking your advice.
System by smashing in the storefront of a local business. What has he done other than to bring harm?
This is the thing I hate most. Alright, what is worth more? No, glass or human life? You know the reason that glass was shattered? Actually, no. You want to know why you care about that glass? Because that glass affects someone's life. They have to pay like $50 or $100 to like fix it if they don't have insurance. What's worse, losing $100 or like the entirety of our like system that like brings heal down stuff?
Harm to people who have nothing to do with his real problems. The guilt, doubt, and shame he will inevitably feel in consequence will have to be suppressed so his beliefs can remain unchanged. And that suppression will do nothing but foster his anger and alienation.
You know what's alienation? Being born in a completely different setting than a rich family. Like, like, being born, like, let's say you're born and you're like, hey, I'm in the wrong body, I'm supposed to be a woman, you're trans. Being alienated would be like the not being accepted. Is it your fault? No.
In the play The Cocktail Party by American English poet T.S. Eliot,
Oh my God. Earlier. Ooh, Massachusetts. That's where I'm from. Alright, blah, blah, blah. Interesting. Oh, yeah, the Wasteland, yeah. I remember that. That was a big thing. Or
Elliot. One of the characters is having a very hard time of it. She speaks of her profound unhappiness to her psychiatrist. She tells him that she hopes her suffering is all her own fault. Taken aback, the psychiatrist asks why. Because, she tells him, if it's her fault, she can do something about it. If it's in the nature of the world, however, she's doomed. She can't change everything else, but she could change herself. Now, there are people who seem to be consigned to a terrible fate, but most of us aren't. Most of us have a chance to make our lives better. But how? Start small.
I like how he says that there are people who can't do anything about it. Like, yeah, that destroys your entire video. Like,
Ask yourself a few questions. Have you taken full advantage of the opportunities offered to you? Are you working to your fullest capacity at school or at work? Have you, in other words, set your own house in order? If the answer is no, try this. Stop doing what you know to be wrong.
if your life's going bad, just have it not go bad. If a food you're eating makes you feel bad, just don't eat that food. Mentality out here. Just if you can't breathe, just breathe.
Stop today. Don't waste time asking how you know that what you're doing is wrong. Inopportune
What? What if it's not wrong? Well, you...
questioning can confuse without enlightening and deflect you from action. You can know something is right or wrong without knowing why. Start paying attention. Do you procrastinate, show up late, spend money you don't have, and drink more than you should? It's not a matter of accepting some externally imposed morality. It's a dialogue with your own conscience. What are you doing that's wrong from your own perspective? What could you put right now? Get to work on time. Stop interrupting people. Make peace with your siblings and your parents.
It's funny as though he's never interrupted anyone. Oh, yeah, and also, didn't one of your like relatives try and poison you? Like,
Diligently utilize everything
been
you already
making
have
peace
at
with them
hand.
pretty well.
If you do those things, your life will improve. You'll become more peaceful, productive, and desirable. After some days or weeks or months of attentive effort, your mind will clear. Your life will become less tragic, and you'll become
a workaholic so you won't have anxiety.
more confident. You'll
Wait,
start
what?
seeing right from wrong more clearly. The path in front of you will shine more.
Right and wrong? Wait, what is this, like, a John's film?
You'll stop getting in your own way. Instead of bringing trouble to yourself, your family, and your society, you'll be a positive and reliable force. Your life will still be difficult. You'll still suffer. That's the price of being
There are people who have not suffered a day in their life, Jordan B. Peterson. What
alive.
are you
But
talking
maybe you'll
about?
become strong enough to accept that burden, and in that fashion, even come to act nobly and with purpose. The proper way to fix the world isn't to fix the world.
Don't mess with the world. It's working great for me. Trust me. It'll work great for you. Gee, I bet it will.
There's no reason to assume that you're even up to such a task.
Who is up for the task? Well, don't question it. Like, how are you supposed to find out if you're the one up for the task, huh? That's what I thought.
But you can fix yourself. You'll do no one any harm by doing so. And in that manner, at least, you will make the world a better place. I'm Jordan Peterson. professor of psychology at the University.
God, I hate him. He's such an arrogant piece of human garbage. Well, if you learned anything today, it's don't listen to Peterson, don't listen to Prager. That's all for this time.